Salut tout le monde. Comment ça va? Comment ça va? Alors, on va mettre ça comme il faut pour pas que je l'ai dans la tronche. On va se boire un petit café. Good evening, team. How you doing? Oh, I'm in a good mood today. It's been a while that did not in a good mood, but today I'm a good mood. Okay. Aye. Yeah, it's nice. Alright, so this evening we have a nice drawing to do. Explosive arrows. Just looking at it right now and realize that maybe that arrow, that explosive device should be more in here. Like that, yeah. Looks better like that. Or maybe we can have more mesh. Alright, let's do that. How are you doing today? Which will the speed of the arrow extinguish the dynamite wire? I have no idea, but I don't think so. Because it's not a flame. It just it just the wire is consuming itself. But that's where we are more into fantasy than historically accurate stuff, because doing an explosive arrow during medieval time. Yeah, we have a little bit of black powder in there, but I don't think it's gonna be like a very huge explosion. And I don't see myself doing like a Rambo tip of arrows, that explode when it touches something. So I guess that's the most coherent way of doing it. Qu'est-ce qu'il y a? Qu'est-ce que tu fais là? Tu cherches un élastique. D'accord. Ben là, il n'y a pas d'élastique. Non. Il y en a un sur le bord de la fenêtre du salon, je crois. So I decided, as it's a technical stuff, and the dwarf are using those kind of technical stuff. I'm gonna draw a dwarf for that card. Yeah. All right, let's start with the face, because that's what I like to draw the most. I need paper to rip the tip of my pen. Mais c'est pas trop le moment d'en parler, là, je suis en plein stream.
C'est-à-dire pas de souris?
Si, tu peux brancher une souris dessus, sur un PC portable.
Moi, c'est juste que j'ai pas besoin. Bonne nuit.
Bonne nuit. Yeah, I mean, yeah. If there is a whole squad of it, I guess it can miss some damage. The good thing about that is that you don't really need to hit your targets precisely. You can even hit a shield and still doing some damage, or you can hit a catapult and destroy it. If everybody is shooting the catapult. Well, it's gonna be expensive to have a squad of that, because, you know, I don't know yet how much is the explosive arrows, but usually those stuff start around 75 crowns. So and you have to have that for every soldier that has those arrows. So it's a squad that can, you know, start to get to be very expensive. But if you are planning all your strategy on that, why not? But that's the beauty of that game, I think, is that there is so many stuff you can plan out depending on how you want to play, that it can be full of surprise. Why is that dropping? And I even have a new idea that I'm gonna talk about to Sébastien, because the way we are starting the game is that, you know, one by one, you placing your unit on the table. So you placing a unit, I place a unit in my side, you place a unit on your side, I place a unit. And so depending on what you're placing, I'm gonna, you know, try to make sure that, you know, your stuff, you know, is gonna be blocked and everything. And one of my friends told me about this idea about with the tent. I don't remember if I told you about that idea already. But the friend told me, you know, why not having, instead of putting a unit there, you put a tent. So your opponent doesn't know what is inside. And I was like, that's actually a good idea. And so I was thinking, doing the same kind of things with, you know, because normally you're supposed to say what that's the first time I heard that. Okay, so that's an idea. And I think Sébastien liked the idea, and I think he said that we can't have, you know, more than 3 tents, because otherwise it's going to be very difficult to build up your strategy if straight away you don't know what's gonna happen. Because, you know, under this tent it can be a cannon, but it can be a bard as well, and you know, so that's pretty exciting. And I was thinking, because, you know, normally you're supposed to say what the unit have as a weapon. You know, this unit has, you know, common weapon, and like a helmet, and and so there is no much surprise in there because you know already if they have firepower and if they have pistols and everything. And I was thinking maybe it would be fun. Yes, it can be that. That's another idea. And I was thinking maybe having like a bag. You pay yourself a bag, and your opponent doesn't know what is inside of that bag. So you can have a sword, and the guy is coming for you, and all of a sudden you use a move to put back your sword on his place. Use another move to take out what is in the bag, which could be a pistol, and if you have it, using a third move to fire right straight away to the guy that coming. That could be a nice surprise as well. So this bag idea, I really like it because that's something I want to do for Sebastian. Yeah, I guess so. Especially in that game because the element of luck is very limited because you're only throwing a 10 faces dice just to see if it's gonna change something, but the majority of what's gonna happen is more about is your guys are well trained and well equipped. Because if you have 10 guys military trained with good equipment on them fighting 10 peasants, there won't be a very big surprise about the result because the luck won't save your peasant. But if you have one hero fighting 30 peasants, the guy is on his own. He can be a hero, but they are 30 and they have like spiky, peasant things on their hands. So I would be surprised if the heroes, go unharmed and if it win the battle. I mean, compared to Games Workshop, where if you have a hero and he's gonna destroy everything. So the whole game is gonna be about strategy, element of surprise, stuff that the guy in front of you didn't expect. Maybe was expecting that you're gonna hold your position and you're gonna run like a crazy guy and just try to do something with that. So this bag idea could be a fun idea. So I'm gonna talk about it to Sebastian and maybe include it to the common arsenal. Or maybe we can have like some equipment stuff that everybody can use, like the tent, like this bag, like like stuff that maybe like in the video games, instead of you can have like a for the throwing knife, for example. We were discussing about the fact that how many knives the guys had. If he have 2 knives on him and he throw them 2, there's no knife left. But if he pay himself like a belt with a lot of knife, and we say, all right, you have enough knife for all the game with that, so yeah, he can throw a knife as much as he wants. So yeah, I think we can have some nice equipment that you can buy that's gonna help you out during the game as well. Yeah, it's been a while that I don't have this good energy in there. Yeah, it's getting a little bit difficult with the kids at the moment, so they drain me. They drain me completely. And for some reason, Alwyn decided to be a nice boy this evening, and that changed everything. This kid can be very, you know, very good when he's decided to be, but that's the same. That's the same for the opposite. Yeah, we just put everything in perspective and think about how we were when we were kids. Oh my goodness. I was complaining to get, you know, to get hit by my father, but that was another time. And sometimes I'm just, like, because you see that, being respected is not working just by itself. Just because I'm your parents and, you need to respect me, it's not working. They don't give a shit. So, talking nicely and calmly doesn't do anything anymore. Talking with a deeper voice, with, angry eyes, it doesn't work anymore. And the only moment where it's starting to stuff happening is when you have a threatening voice, where everything is booming around, and you just starting to piss your wife off because it's you are one more guy that's shouting in the house. But that's the only when something happening, and it's very tiring to shout all the time, because it's getting to be the normal thing as well. So what's the next step? What's the next step? They need to be frightened by their father to start doing stuff? I don't want that, but I'm starting to wonder what what's the solution. And it drained me day after day. I'm losing my patience completely. I think personal example is very important. My dad wanted me to do sport, but he never was much an example. Even though he used to be a good footballer player, but when we decided to visit local pool together, I never wanted to skip on it. It never lasted because pool was closed down, but it took a lot of years before I started doing sport again on such scale. Yeah. Yeah, but we all have a life as well, Kwa. You can't, you can't stop doing what you're doing just so you give the good example of what the kid is supposed to do. I have chore to do. I have a work to do. I have a job. I have, I need to. It's, yeah, I guess. I always was told to read a lot, but I never saw my parents with a book, so I did research for why. Yeah, and I don't know about that. Alvin loved to read and doesn't see me reading that much. Yeah, not easy. But just being respected and ask them to do what they're supposed to do is already complicated. Because just because they don't want to do it, they think it's a way good enough reason to not doing it. So they don't do any chore of the house. They don't help at all with anything. So that's one thing that I want to change. But that's the thing I'm fighting every day, and that's very tiring. I'm the big bad dad because I'm asking to clean the floor in the kitchen once a while, and that precise moment that he wanted to play outside. How bad dad am I? But I was in a good mood, so let's keep it that way and stop talking about the kids. Let's talk about something else. Let's talk about your games. Did you have any games since the last time that you realized the chief of the market was a vampire? And your barbarian wants to flirt with him? Did she manage to do so? Is she gonna get married to a vampire? To what the parent told them to. I hate cleaning, but my dad always treated cleaning day like a celebration of some sort, walking around houses in shirt, blasting boomers music and being positively annoying. And that's how I started to at least acknowledge this task, because my old man was giving out tasks to everyone while being busy with the work of the cleaning himself. Yeah, that's what happened usually, because we kind of cleaning the place only when people come, and we're trying to make people come at least once a week, so the house can be clean, and we have motivation to do it ourselves. And so me and my wife are cleaning the house with music, everything, but every time we ask them to help out, it's always, big words and shouting of. That's what is starting to annoy me, that they are like permit themselves to shout at us. That's something I have a really hard time to cope as well. Is the way they talk to us now, and it's like not a big deal. Well, we only play on Mondays, so we had no news. Alright, yeah, alright, Mondays. Oh, yeah, so tomorrow. You're gonna play tomorrow. So, do you know what is in what come ahead for tomorrow? Do you have any ideas of what's gonna happen tomorrow? Yeah. This new inn you were talking about last week. Yeah, that's what I was about to say. We need to know what is in that place. Maybe it's something. It's a place where you can get good information or whatever. Hey Denise! Look who is in the place! How are you doing in this fine evening? I'm gonna tell you something that's gonna please you. I'm very good today. I'm with a good energy, and it's been a while. I feel like ages that I didn't have that kind of energy. Because, like I was explaining to Tim right there, and I don't want to go back on it. My kids drain me at the moment. But yeah. Let's don't talk about my kids, and let's enjoy this evening with a nice little drawing that I'm enjoying to draw, and I hopefully the rest of the stream will keep that way. I've tried spoiling the mood, but yeah, you won't get me. The only thing that could tilt me is that if Aldun is coming back when I thought he was sleeping, but I'm back to talking about my kids right now, which is not what I want. I want to talk either of the game or that drawing, or what about you? What you, Denise? How things? I saw you doing a nice little knife. I really like those. I left a little bit more info about our session behind this in chat. Oh yes, I started drawing small items for the rulebook. It's been so much fun so far, but this week I went to bed at around 9 even before, so I hope to process more next week. Yeah, I mean, if you need to rest, you need to rest, huh? The last evening, yesterday I finished my horses. So I started a little stream. I finished my horses, and I started to do a little bit of Alduin's portrait that I didn't finish yet, and it was so quiet, and I get bored very suddenly, and I think I stopped my stream around 10:30, something like that, maybe 11, maybe I don't remember. But very early on, and I went to bed around midnight, which is very unusual because usually, when my days are normal, I go to bed around 2. So yeah, Yesterday was not that great day, so I thought, you know what, I'm gonna do a little stream so at least I can talk with people. And but everybody was very quiet yesterday, so I was very starting to get bored very quickly, and yeah, I stopped the stream. So, but today I have a job to do, so I won't do that, and I'm not in the same mood. But yeah, at least I finished my horses, which was, you know, a bigger task than I thought. Choose those horses. So next Thursday I have 10 riders to paint, so I can put them on those horses. So it's you know, it's quite a few hours to get those 10 cavalry knights. No, it's even not knights. It's people on horses. Yeah, but at least I will be done with my arcane, and that's where the fun's gonna really start. Because, you know, I'm gonna start the orcs after those 10 guys, and that's gonna be fun because I need to do some transformation first, and because the 10 guys, the 10 orcs I have don't have, you know, common weapon. They have like two-handed, you know, half of them have two-handed weapon, and I want them to have like one-handed weapon. They already have a very, you know, their weapons are huge compared to the humans, which is kind of normal because it's not the same scale. You know, if you compare that sword to this guy's sword, it's not quite the same sword. But it's normal because they are not in the same scale. But at least, you know, they are face to face, so we can play. This one is 28 millimeters, and this one is 32 millimeters, even 35, I guess. Let me see. From the head to the, yeah, 35 millimeters. So that's why there is a big difference between those two. But on the battlefield, that will do. All right, we can play with that kind of. But you know, when you look at this mass, and it's almost as big as the guy. You know, the mass is. So for a common weapon, yeah, it's a little bit big, but. Yo, Stignir, how you doing, my friend? But that will do for the demonstration. But all that to say that, you know, as soon as I finish the 10 guys on horse, I can start my orcs, and that's where my fun is gonna begin. Because painting those humans are very boring. For me and for you, actually, because I don't think those streams are very fun to watch. I don't feel like my usual viewer really enjoy seeing me painting minis. But I mean, yeah, that's something I have to do, and the only way I found to paint them quickly is to take a day and just paint them. They have a different vibe. I wouldn't especially call boring, but they are very relaxing, honestly. I guess it depends of what you like to watch. I know, you know, usually when I sculpt, I have a little bit more viewer. They are not chatting, but usually I have around 10 people looking at the stream. Where when I draw, usually it's like 5 or 4. Which is funny because I think I draw better than I sculpt, but I think people prefer watching sculpting than drawing. So for those who were not there, Bob is dead. So Bob too, he took his place since the last 30. We'll see where it goes, how long it survives. I don't remember when we start Bob, so I can't really say how long it lasts. Fine, I slept all day. Now I'm learning Flask Python framework for web. Okay. Alright, so c'est pas un frisbee alors. I remember when I was younger, I had, like a soft with a monster face frisbee that we used to call Flask, I think. Do you remember those frisbee? They are like very soft frisbee with the monster face on it, like you can throw like a frisbee. Yeah, I had that when I was young, and I lost it on the water. The sound was a little bit strong. Oh yeah, 36, it's way too strong. There we go. Usually it's 14. That's why that was that loud. Okay. Gravisterbrouf. Profite de ma bonne humeur. C'était un peu fort pour j'ai pas remarqué que mon son était aussi fort. Comment ça va, Witabix? Aujourd'hui, on fait une flèche explosive. I never really played frisbee. All right. Kaboom. Kaboom, kaboom. Tu dis bonsoir à Hondo avant que elle soit partie. Est-ce qu'elle a senti mes good vibes? Est-ce que ça lui a fait du bien? Je lui ai envoyé des good vibes à la mode de Jedi. The force is strong with me. Oh merde. Trop loin, t'es peut-être trop loin, c'est pour ça. Ah. Ok. Ah d'accord. Donc c'est sûrement pas à moi qu'elle parle. Hein. Bon, on va essayer de faire un dessin badass ce soir. Sea of Thieves. Oh, j'aime bien ce jeu. Enfin, j'ai jamais joué, hein, mais j'ai 2 ou 3 personnes qui jouent avec en stream et j'aime beaucoup les textures de ce jeu. La mer est magnifique et ça a l'air assez sympa à jouer. Il y a beaucoup de monde qui joue à ce jeu sur Twitch et à chaque fois qu'ils stream ce jeu, j'aime bien. Ça fonctionne assez bien. Le jeu que je vois beaucoup moins passer, du coup, c'est le jeu qui avait fait un jeu un peu viking, un peu Warcraft, mais pas Warcraft, Minecraft, mais en plus réaliste, tu sais. Ça faisait un peu dans un mode un peu viking. Je le vois un peu moins celui-là. Il y a pas mal de cheaters. Ah oui. Peut-être bien, peut-être bien. Je me rappelle plus du nom du jeu, sinon je te le dirai, mais ça faisait un peu comme Minecraft, si tu veux, tu construisais des trucs et tout, mais visuellement, il était beaucoup plus réaliste et beaucoup mieux fait. C'était juste un arc en moins bien. D'accord. Pour surfer sur la vague viking. Ouais, c'est pour ça que ça n'a pas marché longtemps. Les gens l'ont essayé, puis ils ont vu qu'il n'y avait pas grand-chose. Et par contre, ouais, Sea of Thieves, ça a l'air pas mal du tout. Hein. C'est super de voyager comme ça avec son bateau, d'aller d'île en île pour faire des missions et tout. Se foutre sur la gueule avec d'autres bateaux. Ah, d'accord. Ah, bah, d'accord. Génial. Alors, je regarde, mais ça me donne pas envie quand elle joue. Ah ouais. Je sais pas si ça donne une bonne image de comment elle joue en fait. Ou si c'est juste que c'est pas ton trip. Bah, moi j'irais pas jusqu'à dire que ça me donne envie d'acheter le jeu et de jouer parce que je veux dire il en faut un bon pour vraiment me remoduler ma façon de faire pour que je passe du temps à jouer à un jeu quoi. Ah t'es pas fan de pirates déjà. Bah si t'es pas fan de pirates, c'est pas la peine de faire un jeu de pirates. Ça c'est sûr. Donc tu dois être insensible à Pirates des Caraïbes et tout le merdier alors j'imagine. Totalement. Almighty, I have a game session scheduled with a friend soon enough. So have fun fellas. See you around team, have fun. Have fun. We need fun. I don't have enough fun those days. I think that's the problem. All I have is my kid piss me off. Oh, I came back to my kids. Sorry. Don't talk about my kids right now. Hello, Saka. How you doing? Mm. So again, a drawing I already made in 2020, but I just draw an arrow with this explosive device on top, and that's it. That's all what I did. And here I am, 2022, with this kind of drawing for the cards. And I came back to this little line, explosive arrows. I'm like, I can't just draw just an arrow with the explosive. I need to draw something cooler than that now. Ta-da! Yeah, for some reason, for that franchise we're doing, I can't just drawing sample something. I feel like everything I draw, I want to have fun, and the guys that watch that drawing have fun too, So every little thing needs to be fun to watch. So it gives you an envie. Comment je peux dire ça? The game makes you want to play. The drawing makes you want to play the game. That's what I want to say. Yeah. That's the whole purpose of those drawings. It's to illustrate the franchise and give you, the vibe of the world we are creating. But those drawings needs to make you want to play. Just by looking at them. If you don't feel that, if you don't feel an hint of interest, I fail. Move to the next street, as if I had driven half the earth. I'm chilling after exhausting moving. Move to the next street, as if I had driven after. Oh yeah? When you say move, you mean you change places? You find a better place? Yeah, that I got. And the funny bit is that I remember it happened to me when I was living in Ireland. I stay in the same district, and I found a new apartment, like two street away from where we lived. So I thought in my little brain that as it's not that far, I'm just gonna take my stuff on foot and bring them, bit by bit. It will take the time. I have the time. I didn't have, that much work to do that at that time. Man, it took me a week to bring all my stuff over there. And I was like wrecked. The big stuff I asked friends for the bed, so we have two idiots, with the bed in the middle of the street. Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. That's a stupid idea. So yeah, you didn't spend the money to for a truck or something, but at least I don't know. Ask a friend. If you have a friend with a van or truck that helping out, because yeah, I didn't have my car when I was living in Dublin because we didn't need the car over there. There were buses everywhere, so no need to bring the car and pay for insurance, everything, and petrol and all. But that means that when you need to go somewhere that the bus doesn't drive you don't. You don't go there. And if you need to move all your belongings 2 streets away, you're doing on foot, and you think, oh, I'll be fine. But for one thing, you look like an idiot for the whole week, because people are looking at you with all your bags and everything on your back. And two, it's very tiring, and it takes ages. So I was lucky that the two apartment was on the floor level. I don't have staircase to add to that punishment. But I can imagine if you're living like in 6th floor and your new flat is in like 4th floor, and you need to go all the way down, crossing 2 streets and go back up. I'm like, come on. Just make me want to throw everything from the window. So yeah, I can feel you, man. If it's what you did. Yeah. Yeah, I move enough in my life now. I think I'm here where I am. I bought a house in the center of Brittany, countryside. It's my place now, and I'm very happy where I am. I don't think I will move alive from that place. I think the day I will change the place, it's to be burned in a little, in a little coffin. So Denise, what do you think of that dwarf? We have been walking from one building to another with big suitcase like 8 times, trying to move all groceries in and small things in it. Ha ha ha. But then patient came to the end. Yeah, Timeton. Timeton! Yeah. So what about the big things? What are you gonna do with the big things? Do you have a plan, or don't? Maybe you don't have big things. Maybe you were living in a furnished apartment. Find him very cool already. I was almost sleeping again and my eyes are fully open now. I guess I found an excuse to make one dwarf drawing for me for tomorrow. Ha ha ha. It's funny how I put you on those dwarves and now you just love drawing them. But in my case, after the orcs, I think the dwarfs are the guys that I like to draw. But I have a lot of stuff I like to draw, but they're not there yet. Because all those hybrid guys, the fauve, we call them the fauve, and it's regrouping every hybrid human animal like the minotaurs and the centaurs and the harpy and the faun and all those guys. I can't wait to draw them. So I know I'm supposed to be able to draw them on those cards because those cards are for the complete game and the complete game is supposed to have those guys already. I just forgot to draw them most of the time. And for the technical weapon, I don't think I can use those guys because those guys are supposed to play magic. So we can't have magic guys using, technical objects. All my drawings are inspired by your artwork. That's a reality. That's nice. And I guess that's the case of your husband as well. That's very cool to know that. That was my last drop of coffee. So this finger is a little bit strange, but I will leave it like that. Yeah, you know me. I like to open up stories possibilities, especially when I know now that somebody is gonna jump on every detail of that drawing and create a story about it. It just motivate me to doing more stuff. Thanks to God, almost all furniture belonged to the okay, but we still had a heavy table, gaming chair, and big boxes with stuff, so we still had to call a movers. It was kind of expensive, yeah. And you don't think that it was worth doing all those way with the little stuff if you have to call a mover anyway? Because nowadays, I'm a little bit older than I was before, like everybody, and more, experience. And I'm like thinking, if I have to call a mover and pay for it, I guess I'm not gonna move my ass for anything. It just, he's gonna move everything. It's funny because when I see that, all I can hear is this thing is gonna explode. Move around. We hope that we could do it ourselves, but we overestimate the possibility. But it's good that we realize during moving small things and not skating with that table across the street. Yeah. Yeah, I was starting to wondering what is that in the beginning? Is that Russian or something? Looks like Russian. Yeah, I guess this table will take some time to move because I have a heavy one that I got and I had it in the middle of my workshop so we can do you know all the stuff I'm doing with people that come in my workshop to do a drawing or sculpting or plastic art. Art plastique, comment on dit art plastique en anglais? No idea. Anyway, so they come to being creative in my space, and all that is done on this big heavy table in the middle of my workshop. And but yeah, I mean, just the truck stopped in front of my workshop, and just getting it out, going through the door and putting it in the middle of my workshop was already tiring. So yeah, I don't picture myself crossing two streets with that table. Otherwise, we will have, we need at least a pack of beer on top of it, and stopping every 5 minutes to get a beer. Yeah. Ah yeah, plastic art. We say plastic art as well. Oh, that's good. J'ai dit ça complètement au hasard, mais c'est bien. Si ça se dit pareil. Je suis pas très sûr que ça se dit pareil. Je pense que c'est, je sais pas, c'est quoi, c'est Google Translation qui t'a dit ça, ou c'est un truc que tu sais? C'est possible que Google Translation t'a juste traduit plastique et art, hein, c'est possible. Il est un peu con des fois. Wikipédia? Bon. Je suis pas sûr qu'on entend la musique. On entend la musique? Hope it's not a problem here, since nowadays not all PPL like the presence of Russian and they can't blame them for it. I don't really have problem with Russian, and I don't know if I have problem with Putin as well, because it's very hard to know the real situation over there. So I don't have any thought about it. It's very sad for the Ukrainian people. What's going on, but they've been bombarded for 4 years and nobody cares. Just now people cares because Russian is on the game. But so who's gonna be the first? Haha! I win. Okay, so yeah, I don't have any thought about that, so I'm not talking about it, because I mean, as sad as it is, we are in so much shit already in France. Yeah, we can't compare with the shit that happened over there, but does that mean that we have enough money and space to do something for it? It's tricky. Oh, yeah, visual art is good. J'ai profité que tu regardais ailleurs pour bannir un enfoiré. Moi-même. Bye bye, Geek Studio. Ah, t'es sur un. T'es en live ou tu joues comme ça Bon, alors là, j'ai un gros bracelet à faire. C'est peut-être l'occasion de faire quelque chose de sympa dedans. Qu'est-ce qu'on va faire dedans? Ah, d'accord. Alors. J'aimerais bien faire quelque chose de sympa sur ce bracelet là. Il est bien en premier plan là. Hmm. Qu'est-ce qu'on pourrait faire? I'm kind of doing a little bit all the time the thing design, the mountains and the helmet. This dwarf looks like a character from Warhammer Online. I mean, that's the problem now, that they are so present, they are so dominant in the fantasy wargame that as soon as you draw a dwarf, it looks like a Warhammer dwarf. But I mean, it's just a guy with big nose and a beard, firing a. It's almost impossible to draw a different kind of dwarf, because that's how dwarfs look like. you know so you can change a little bit the design when you draw, like the elf. My wood elf had nothing to do with Warhammer, because I purposely did not want to go in that direction. I wanted to have something more animal like, and so they really look like creature living in the forest. And the orcs, it's another matter, because as the whole purpose of the franchise in that wargame we are creating is for you to use your mini. We're not going to sell you any minis. The whole point of that game is to create a huge playground with a big toolbox, so you can take the mini on your shelves and use those, especially those that you can't play anymore, because the rules not you can't play the rules anymore with those minis. Now you can. You have like a bunch of I don't know, dwarfs holding pistols on bears, and you can't play those guys anymore, because on the rules of the Warhammer you can't play them anymore. But now we have a game that you can play anything. So as there is a lot of Warhammer orcs around, we still have to recognize those orcs without to be Warhammer orcs. So could be tricky. But dwarfs, dwarfs are dwarfs. You can't really do much about it. Oh, je sais pas, je vais garder ça pour plus tard. Pour l'instant, j'ai pas trop d'idées. So if there is something about the dwarf I'm trying to create, is just making them the most real, like realistic as possible, in the sense of that probably the way it will, the guy will look like if we are making a film about it. For example, Warcraft dwarves looks a bit different. They have small eyes and kind of big noses. Some Lord of the Ring dwarf even more disproportionate in comparison with the human type of face. Yes, all right. I see where you're going with that. But like I said, I'm trying to create a dwarf like if it's from a movie. But I know, like you say in The Hobbit, some of those dwarves really look like dwarfs with very big head and big nose. And this guy have a bigger head of a human already. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just trying the dwarf the way I see the dwarf. Maybe I see the dwarf like that because I saw those dwarfs in those White Dwarf magazine for so long, too long. Yep, your dwarf is great. I mean, yeah, I like them. Um, are they looking like a warmer dwarf? Probably, but they are not. And but even if I mean, it's a good thing anyway, because like I said, you need to find your minis in there. So if you play dwarves and you have a lot of warmer dwarf on your shelves, you will recognize your army in there. And there's a lot of stuff that is really old armor stuff, because like some of the orcs that's coming, for example, will be orcs from Nightmare Miniatures, because we're going to be partners, and Diego is sculpting those very old school, old armor looking orcs, and they really look like Games Workshop from the 80s, and that may ended up being our common orcs from the game, because the idea is to the idea of Diego is to be like a mini seller for us, and so he can use the franchise to sell his mini, and we can use his mini for our franchise. That's the kind of deal we are creating. So we're gonna include, if we do the deal, we're gonna include a lot of his product on our franchise. Yeah, this one is still there, and it's coming from the same company. It's not very neat right there, because there you go. So this type of orcs with this long jaw, it's not at all the kind of orcs I'm drawing. I'm not drawing this kind of orcs. But the good thing about the story we are creating for the orcs is that there is one type of race that kind of are the pure orcs, the orcs as they were when they arrive on Iridium, and that would have been that would be in Warhammer, for example, that would be the black orcs, those huge, muscular, or like 2 meters 30, almost 3 meters high orcs, like Warcraft orcs, like those big guys. That's the orcs the way they were when they arrived, and those orcs are still around. But back in some time, a long time ago, few clans wanted to live their lives away from their queens, and so they started to reproduce themselves between themselves, and generation after generation, those orcs are, started to, being less and less ground and more like, you know, strange looking, and ended up with very different look depending of where they are, and all that story, all that backstory have been made only to explain why there is so many different orcs on the table. Because as I say, the idea is to buy any orcs you want. So we have orcs from them that are uh, the less transformed, because that's gonna be the orcs from them. But that can be, an orcs from another brand that looks like more like Lord of the Ring orcs, or even the Games Workshop orcs that look like apes. That can be anything, like as Absburgs. What's that? Absburgs. I don't know that. What's that name? I'm gonna look like an asshole right now, but I don't know that name. Do you have a link to explain to me what is that? But yeah, the idea is, so you can play any orcs you want. They will have their places. They have their place on the war game, because that's kind of normal, as uh, they decided to move away. And those black orcs, because we can't use Warhammer black orcs, but Nightmare Miniature doing great iron orcs that he created, and that's kind of, they are the same than the black orcs from Games Workshop. They are very huge, all heavy armored, huge guys, and that's we're gonna use. I guess we're gonna. They have already a name, but they are easily being named, iron orcs, because of the sound they made when they move. Everything you hear is boom boom with the sound of the metal from the armor. That's why we give them the name of the iron orcs, because they are they are almost covered up with those armor. So bit by bit, those um, those minis gonna be included to the franchise, but the look of this mini is gonna be included as well. Because when you look at that mini, you need to find them. You need to find the correlation between the drawing and the minis, because Nightmare Miniature is gonna make the official Maîtres Guerriers minis. That's the part. That's the goal of this relationship. So every time we want to do like a hero, a proper hero from our franchise, is something you won't find anywhere, because these orcs will have a Roman's helmet on his head, which you will find nowhere, because there is no orcs with Roman stuff. But we just have to say to Diego, can you make, here's the drawing, can you make an orc like that? And he will do it, and that will be the only place you can buy this, orcs. And but that means, we need to have like something that, oh yeah, those orcs are from the game. That's because I recognize the orcs. Habsburg are Romans, German monarch dynasty who try to keep their king blood inside their family and married relative. That's why they look stranger generation after generation. Oh yeah, okay. Okay, I didn't know that. Okay. But it's that without being that. It's just that, I can't really. I feel like working with Marvel sometimes. I don't know what I can say right now about the original of the orcs, so I can't say why those orcs, those black orcs, those iron orcs are only male, and they're all huge, and they kind of all look the same. There is a reason for that. and there is a reason why today they look the same when they come from the original, place of the orcs. And there is a reason why the common orcs look so different, because you know they are a different way of reproducing it themselves. Um, yeah, that's gonna be interesting to discover. And I don't know if we're gonna, say that much stuff to the players. So that's why I can't say too much. They had a long and strange looking jaw too. The is iron orcs? I think so. Yes, and that will explain why some common orcs have this jaw as well, because they may be more direct linked from those iron orcs. So that will explain why those common orcs. But I'm not very big fan of this very like crocodile. It's for my taste. It's too long. So I almost tempted to cut that out and sculpt the jaw a little bit. But I mean, I'm gonna respect the minis and leave it like that. And instead of transforming the minis Diego made, we're just gonna create stories to explain why they have this long jaw, I think, and why there is some orcs with different faces. And that will be more interesting to have very different kind of orcs. Uh, all the country, because we have the same in Earth with humans. We have a lot of different humans on Earth with different morphology. So it's almost normal to have the same on Iridium with very different orcs and very different creature from the same race. It has a great potential for a fantasy universe filled with all sorts of orcs. It can be very interesting. I mean, this game, um, I won't say it's gonna be all about orcs, because I have to restrain myself. But if the main illustrator of the game is an orc, there is a big chance that the orcs will play an important part of that world. And there is a big chance as well that we're gonna have a little game all about orcs, because it's planned already. And because beside our war game, that's gonna be free online, even the complete one, because that will be our main game. It's gonna be the biggest project we're gonna work on that franchise, but that will be the one that is free. So beside that, we're gonna create, we're gonna starting to work seriously around the summertime, so we can have that game in the start of 23. And but we're gonna create a little card game, because that's the beauty of the franchise we're doing. We're gonna have all sorts of games, and all coming from the same franchise, just telling another story that is on the time frame. And this little card game is gonna be much easier to play, so it's gonna be a bigger public. Telling all about like a peace period of time where heroes are looking for a very well-known artifact. And so that's going to be one game, and the next one will be another little game that Sebastian really love, that is not produced anymore for a very long time, and it's all about like four clans of orcs, fighting each other. All right. All right, that sounds good already. So yeah, we're gonna have a lot of fun with those games. The only thing I'm learning is patience, because we are not going to do that in 2 years' time. It's gonna take a long time. Even Sebastian told me we're gonna need at least 5 years to have this complete war game up and ready with players starting to really enjoy it all over the France and maybe the world, because we're going to translate that game. So it's going to take us at least 5 years before it's starting to giving fruit, if I might say. So it just we just need to take our time, make sure that we are not fucking it up, making sure that everything is properly think and properly made, and because every time we did go too fast because I was very impatient. Stuff appear online not ready, and we ended up with a basic rule that were full of crap, and that's not good. So bit by bit, this rulebook is being corrected, and now we're gonna have, like normally in this month, we're gonna have a big update of that rulebook with a lot of stuff that Sebastian pinpoint all the pages to see what's good and what's not, and changing a lot of stuff. So the game should be even a little bit bigger, better. It won't be the complete book yet, it's still the basic rules, but at least there won't be any strange stuff in there. So for now it's kind of okay because we don't have any player at all reporting the games and telling us what's wrong and what's right. So I don't think it's bother too much people with that. There is like mistakes in the book, but bit by bit it will be better and better, and like Sebastian said, the next 5 years we're gonna do it anyway, and every year the game is gonna be a little bit better, and we will have a little bit more illustration, and we will have a little bit more story, and bit by bit we're gonna gain those players. We're gonna do convention pretty soon. We're gonna start convention. We're gonna start as soon as I finish painting those minis. We're gonna start creating a video demonstration on YouTube so we can show how to play. So those videos are gonna be very important because it's good to download the rule book and look at it. I'm like, wow, that's a huge stuff to read. I don't want to read that. So it's easier to have a chapter on YouTube showing you how to play for the ladies that don't want to read. So if we do that, if it's very nice, very good energy videos with a little bit of sound and with nice minis, with nice table and nice decoration on top of this table, that could be a good way to show that this game is serious. We are not playing around with that game. We really want to doing good product, and it will take the time we need, but we'll do that product. I mean, I don't have that much doubt. It's just a story about It's just a story about being patient, which I'm learning. I'm learning to be patient. Sebastian is being 40 years that he's in this business of games. So he knows his business. He knows it's gonna take time, especially with the kind of money we have for it. So he knows already all that. He knows that we need to have like a long term plan, and he knows that we really need to make noise when we'll be ready, which is not the case right now. So we're just preparing everything. I'm drawing like a madman every day. So all the cards, all those cards, all those stuff we need will be ready. But we're talking about next year or even the year before or the year after. But that all that work will pay off that in that moment when people are gonna realize that it's not just a stupid rule book with few drawing. It's like it's a big law with a huge story behind it. With it's not just a game; it's a franchise. Because sometimes when I talk to friends and I compare our games to Warhammer, they're like, "Oh yeah, like pooh, really? You compare yourself to Warhammer?" I mean, I don't see why we can't, because of course, I'm comparing myself to Warhammer in the 70s. When they started to play around with friends in the garage of their parents. No, not Warhammer today, of course, you dumbass. We just started last October. How can I compare myself to Warhammer today? But I mean, it's gonna start the same way, between friends having fun. The only thing we won't do is just prioritize money to the fun of the game. That's what we won't do. The players will have a huge place in the game and the franchise, because that the player is gonna make the story of the game involved. That's the result they're gonna have when we're gonna do a tournament in clubs. We're gonna have like a few scenarios to play during the tournament, and depending of the result of those scenarios, the story of the game is gonna take some direction. So the player will make the story growing. And if we manage to create clubs a little bit everywhere, club that wants to be involved with the game, and if they are making official games with a judge, an official judge, somebody that is allowed to judge that game, that game can make a difference in the story. Imagine yourself creating a clan of orcs with your own flag, and decided to invite to play a role on that part of our map, and you kind of win the game and decided that's your village now. So you establish a camp of a huge camp of orcs there. So your flag is gonna be on the map, on the official map of the game, because you're there now. So if somebody wants to cross that village, or even invite, he will have to play. We will have to play the fight, and the result will change. The landlord of the land, and the flag will change as well. It's so many stuff it's so many fun things we're gonna be able to do bit by bit. Battle in the sea, battle in the air. We will have a role play, how you say that, a role game, a role playing game It's already written. We just need to put that together, doing a lot of illustration, and the book will be ready already. Because the rules are there already. We're gonna have dungeon crawling game. I'm not sure we'll have enough years on their lives, but for sure we'll have fun. And if in 10 years' time, that will be our main job, I'll be very happy about it. It's already kind of the case. For me, at least. I'm the only one that is being paid for what I'm doing. Kaboom! Alors, où est mon... Hop là, attention, toi. Où est mon Posca? Yeah. Dwarves. Okay, yeah, it's a little bit that in heroic fantasy games. And the idea of having two explosive devices like that side by side is like it's almost look like a gun. You know, I don't know. I like this. You know, it's more like an insect or something. Right? Like with the it looks dangerous. Pew. Pew, 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 pew. Pew, 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 pew. Sometimes it hurts me to see that great original artists have only a few viewers. It's so unfair. I don't know. Yeah, it's sometimes I don't care at all, and all I want is an evening like this evening when I can work while I'm talking with somebody. Um, and sometimes which arrive less and less. It's happening less and less. Fortunately, sometimes I'm just wondering why. You know, it's been more than a year now. I'm very hardly reaching 500, and but I have like my 5 or 6 um, you know usual viewer that come and by and say hi and doing something in the same time, and sometimes talk more and less, but it's like the same name all the time. When I have like 576 followers, like, where are those people? But I never had really success on internet anyway, and but that's true that sometimes I'm wondering, I feel like I'm doing a good enough job to have a success, uh, that some people have on Twitch, but it's not. The mayonnaise is not taking. It's I don't know how you say that in English, but it's yeah. I don't know, and like I said, I had a very big period of hurting myself, of wondering why, but I just let it go and don't care. It's just doing my jobs, instead of doing it, in private, I doing it online. And if by chance somebody is coming by, I can talk, I can nice conversation during the evening, but I'm not looking after those guys anymore because I'm tired of wondering why I don't have, you know, the success I can have. I guess my guess is that it will comes when the game will be more known, you know, and Barbo will probably be a name sometimes in the future. And maybe I will be not happy because the chat box is crazy and I can't talk to everybody and I don't have time to draw because I need to answer all the questions. That's something I don't want either. I just want something between. And but it's true that some evening like yesterday where nobody was there and the only one that was around didn't feel like talking. Yeah, I find myself being annoying just because I was tired. But yeah, some evening I spent great evening talking and having fun and blah 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 and you're like, okay, it's starting to work, it's starting to be like every day, every time it's the same way, and you ended up like 2 or 3 evening in a row with nobody, like, what's going on? What is that? Is that my energy is not good today? So people not don't stay and don't talk. Sometimes I've been raid. I'm like, Ray, oh yeah, that's great, like 36 people coming. I was like, and you have one guy who say, hey, that nice stuff, and you see the number of you getting away bit by bit. You don't get one follower, and almost nobody talk, and you wonder to yourself, what's going on? Why? But that's the way it is in my channel. What do you want me to say? I don't have any explanation. And I stopped wondering because it's too tiring. The thing is, the truth is, I don't think I'm the kind of channel that you stay there and you stick around. I think I'm the kind of channel that you lurk. You come, you lurk, you go away, you do something else, you come back 20 minutes later to see where am I, and you go away again. I think I'm the kind of channel that what people do. Because I'm not very, if nobody's talking, I can do 3 hours without speaking. I'm not the kind of streamer that gonna speak by myself. So right now we had a conversation, so I speak, so I'm answering to you, and it throw me to another subject and blah blah blah. But if you're going away and nobody else is talking, I'm not gonna talk to myself, out loud. So people come and I'm like just drawing, working because I'm working, and so maybe that's why it's kind of boring and they go away. And it's probably what's going on. That's my explanation. But I won't go further than that because I don't have any, you know. All right, so we have a big belt here. Some artists recommended me to begin streaming course. It will help me to concentrate on drawing. I mean, that's true. I really started to get more stuff done the day I start streaming. That's one thing. I have this problem for a long time. I'm scattered and disorganized, but I will be depressed if no one will come to my streams. Yeah. I mean, I get that because, those days, especially when I stream all day long, sometime, it's the afternoon, everybody's working, nobody's around. So it happened already a lot of time that I spent like 3 hours and nobody came. I mean, I have one viewer on the top of my screen there and it doesn't talk. So I'm on my own. But the thing is, if I'm doing my job, because my job has to be done, if I'm doing that job like I did the last 10 years, which is on my own in my workshop, will be the same. The fact that I'm doing it on stream give me more chances, more opportunity to talk with somebody because, it's live stream. So if somebody wants to talk, at least we can talk, you know? But if I'm doing it like I did before I start streaming, doing it myself, I'm gonna work like 2 hours, have a coffee, and probably doing something else. Probably doing the laundry, probably doing some washes, and I'm gonna do all the chore of the house without realizing that I only draw 2 hours today, which is not the case when I stream live, because I can stream like 6 hours during the day without realizing it. Like the Thursday, usually I start at 9:30 in the morning, finish at 4:20 in the afternoon, non-stop, and there is a lot of stuff done that day, thanks to that. And but I won't do that if I'm not online. That's for sure. Maybe it's a matter of preference among viewers. I realize that the community here likes manga drawings. They have the highest viewer count. Yes, I know. A lot of people say, yeah, it's just the arts. The art station is very hard to get. Blah blah blah. No, it's not true because I follow a lot of artists that do traditional art like that, and they have like 2,000 viewers and like 35 people watching right now, and like the chat box really live, so it's crap. I don't think there is so many people. It has a point. Yeah, it has a point. Yeah, of course it is. Yeah, and I can't work anymore without my camera. That's the thing. That's the truth. It's very annoying for my family because now when I say I need to work, that means I need to put on the camera and work on live stream, and they don't understand that now I need to work on Twitch to have good stuff made. And people like easy and fast access to things now. So when more people are in the channel, other follow and see what it is. Not sure if they enjoy the genuine conversation with the streamer. That's the case with you. You make genuine friendly connection with your viewers. Yes, that's true. You see people like Denise, people like Stigner and Andobaka and FX. Even if FX come and buy, come and go, we were not sure he's looking. You know, people. I mean, I forgot. I have a good 10 people that come and buy very often and starting to have nice relationship. Emery doesn't come anymore, but I know he's around. He's behind the knees and he's listening with one ear. So I know he's around, like Ondo. Um, and it's always the same people that come and talk. Sometimes it's somebody like you coming by and say more than usual, and very pleased with that. Tim and Eden are, they are here almost from the beginning. Um, he's always right next to me. Yeah, I know. That's why I'm saying he's around. Yeah, Tim and Eden, even though they are not there as much as they were, they are still around, and so, but yeah, that's the way. So I'm not, it sometimes it bothers me, but most of the time it doesn't, because like I say, I need to do this work anyway, and if I'm not doing it online, I will have to do it, offline anyway. So it's not like I'm trying to win money, to earn money on Twitch, and be successful to earn money. That's not the point at all. If you look at, you can't look at, but I can tell you how many people are, how do you say that? When you pay, I don't know, I don't have the English word, but when you pay for your channel, I think I have Stignia that is being paying every month since the last 5 months, I think. But that's it, and I'm not looking after that. I don't really care. What I need is somebody to talk with when I'm working. And even, yeah, I mean, yeah, just the fact that the camera is on, I have a different view of my screen of my drawing, and I know that people is looking, even if they don't talk, make you want to do it better than if you're doing on your own. So before trying to get a lot of people on the chat box and trying to have a crowd, you really need to do it that for yourself first. So it helps you to get more organized and get better at it. Now you're being watched, and so it will make you go beyond what you're doing usually. My work is involving a lot. Now I'm on Twitch because I'm always trying to do cool stuff, and the fact that I see it on screen, I have a different view of from what I have here, so I can change a lot of stuff, and yeah, I improve my skill a lot since I'm on Twitch. So I can only recommend it, but don't do it for the fame, that for sure. Fake culture is advanced on TV regularly, and it's the trend now. A lot of people also like drama and enjoy loud people who do ridiculous stuff. Unfortunately, that's my personal observation. Yeah, that's true. I mean, one of my friends talked to me about a woman on Twitch that have a lot of followers and people that pay for a channel, because you see it almost every second. People give bits, and people give uh, all kind of different way of giving money. And what she's doing, she's leaking a microphone. Ah, well, she's leaking a microphone all day long with all kind of ways. And yeah, I guess there's a lot of guys that like this way of leaking the microphone. Just doing it with my pen, I feel ridiculous. But she's doing that very, very well, I guess. Do I want to do that? Fuck no. I'm just doing my job, you know? So, if you're not interested, don't stay around. I wish I can say I don't care. But sometimes I care. But it's stronger than me. But I guess if you came by here, it's because you are minimum interested about, drawing. So that's why that's why sometimes I wonder, if you ended up on my channel. I'm not talking about raids, because when you're being raid, you being ended up here where it's not really your cup of tea, maybe sometimes, so you go away very quickly. But if you came by just here because you saw the miniature on the big wall of Twitch, it's probably because you like traditional art and you like drawing. So why you just come by and go away without saying anything? I don't know. Maybe you're shy. Maybe you don't have anything to say. Or maybe I'm talking English and you're French and you're not sure I can speak French. Or maybe I'm speaking French and you're English and you're not sure I speak English, so you go away. Or maybe you just Spanish as well and you speak either French or English. Is it strange if I want to see it? Yes, it's strange. You're gonna be bound. Be careful. If you're here to see me licking my pen, go away. I'm not interested to do that. No, what I'm very interested is talking about drawing, talking about Maîtres Guerriers, of course, promoting the game, um, and drawing about life. Your moving experience was very fun to talk about because I had the same, sample stuff. What I really not want to talk about is COVID, but war, that's kind of boring for me because everybody knows it's happening, but can we do something about it? Not really. So I don't see any point of talking about it, so I get quickly annoyed and bored. I don't know why men can watch a girl licking microphone, but girls can't watch men licking pen. Oh, it's unfair. It's not that you can't watch me licking a pen. It's just like I'm not interested about it. That's all. And it's yeah. I mean, what kind of girl are you? Hopefully you're joking. You feel like I'm starting to be wondering what's going on. Don't worry, I have a sense of humor. Okay, and I'm in a good mood today, so you're lucky. I don't have my kids around, piss me off. Yeah, I found myself in a bad mood a lot of time those days, and I don't like that, because that's not me. And unfortunately, when I'm in bad mood, I'm get annoyed very quickly. And that's, in those kind of days there, that, when nobody's there, I'm annoyed and bored. I remember it was a few months ago. I was in a very bad mood, and I thought to myself, okay, maybe I'm gonna do a little bit of stream. I'm gonna draw. So I'm gonna talk with people, and it's gonna get better. So I started my little stream. It was in the middle of the afternoon, and the music, pissed me off very quickly because it was too slow, and I don't want to hear that. So I started to listen a little bit more real music, a little bit of rock, and blah blah blah, and I changed a few times, and tried to put my head on the drawing, and nobody was there, and I'm like, okay, and after an hour, Aiden says something, and he's like, okay, I'm bored here. I'm gonna go away before listening instead of listening random music. And I'm like, okay, you know what? You can do that, and I just stopped streaming. uh, yeah. Yeah, I remember that day. That was fun. Emery! Ah, ça y est. Emery. It's not because I say nobody take, come on. Thank you, man. But you didn't have to feel like you have to do it. Well, that's what it cost me to get. Oh, please. Oh, no. You know what I did? I leaked Bob names. Come on, look at that. It's not visible anymore. All right, thank you, man. Well, I feel like I forced you to do so. All right, I need to write back Bob. Now I have Posca on my tongue. This is disgusting. Where we were laughing here. Happy that it make you laugh, because I don't know what this girl is doing, make people laugh, but I don't think so. It's another kind of I guess anyway, yeah, no. let's talk about something else, because I'm gonna start to talk nasty. That's not the place. Because don't forget, I'm a guy, alright? So, alors, I need my big pen. And I'm talking about pen, alright? Come on, don't start there. Alright, this one. Where's the music? Right, I think we're talking about the music is gone. You know what? We're gonna put a little bit of Zelda's music because I like it. You're always thankful for your energy. That's good. If you can if you can feel it and make you better. That may be one of the main reason I like to stream. I wish I wish I can get more people like you that can feel that. But who knows. Now Sakaga's gonna come every day, right? That's your duty now, Saka. You have to come every day talking. You're gonna have to feel like you have to do it now. Come and feel the love. Yeah, don't worry. Everybody have a life. I know somebody that wish that he could come every time I stream, and that is Sebastian, of course. But the reality of life is that he always have something else to do. And I can't really blame people that have a life. I was just telling Denise actually that we should call you randomly in daytime when you are off stream to have a chat. Alright, I'm gonna blush, so stop now. Okay. Calling me randomly, is it a good idea? I'm not sure. It's not that I don't want to chat with you guys. It's just that it's a very hard period right now for me with my kids. So I'm lucky enough that Alduin decided to be a nice boy this evening. So it was nice and chill evening, and I spent 70 minutes massaging my wife. So she had a good massage, and it made me relax as well. So I really start this evening really in a very great mood. But most of the times those days, I'm pissed. That's all. And I'm spending my day shouting, and it's not very nice energy there. So I prefer you getting what you can when I'm streaming, and one day if things get better and we are working more and more together with the game, yeah. But it's best that it's organized and. But we can have a chat more regularly if you want, like even on webcam. I mean, when they are at school and you are alone drawing and such. Yeah, oh yeah, that could be done. Or what you can do as well, which we don't do often, and it's too bad, is that you can go on the Discord and and I can put you on while I'm working, so we can have a chat as well. That's instead of writing stuff, we can talk directly. Or if you want to keep it private, we can sometime have a chat just between us. I mean, I'm trying my best to get to be a good husband, and every Sunday my wife have her massage, and it's been almost 20 years now. It's the way. So I won't say it's every Sunday, because sometimes we don't have time, or we are not in the mood, but it's most of the Sundays. She's a very lucky girl. So yeah, I mean, if I'm streaming and you feel like we can have a chat while I'm working instead of go on Discord and tell me, and we can it's not just for Cursia. Cursia did that a lot, and I was happy to talk to him while I was working, especially those afternoon where, like you say, there's nobody there. Alright, I'm gonna do those outline a little bit bigger so it's more visible, and I really need to know what I'm gonna do on that stuff here. And also humble. I don't know if I mean, it's just it's just the way we live now, so it's kind of becoming normal. It's we came in center of Brittany, in the countryside, to build a very healthy and simple life, and that's what we're doing. We do what we want. If you feel like doing nothing, you do nothing. If you feel like doing a lot of stuff, you do what you want. I mean, I'm not gonna be judged because I'm spending my day with my big ass on the couch reading a book. That's normal here. If you want to do that. And what I need to know if my wife is happy. That's all. So if that mean doing the washes and doing the laundry and stuff like that, I'll do it. So I'm sometimes a little bit pissed because I wish she would do more, but I can't say she doesn't do anything. Now I'm very dangerous territory there, so I'm gonna stop talking, just in case she's looking. Right. I am waiting on Sebastian to send me the document. It will be fun and informative for me to share the research I am currently doing with you, and we can talk over them. It will improve the law and make it more enjoyable. Yes, and I know right now Sebastian had to take a job. I think he told you about it a little bit last time we have this video chat. So even for me, it's not as free as it's supposed to be, and so I don't see Sebastian often as I'm used to right now because he had to take a job. For one thing, because he need money for him and for the game, and other stuff that is private to Sebastien. That's why he's not that free. Same thing for Diego, the guy from Nightmare Miniatures, that the guy who's doing the miniatures. It took a bit of time to Sebastien to answer to Diego, so I was a bit worried. So I said to Diego, don't worry, the deal is gonna be made. It's just Sebastien is so busy, and he's not working full time on the game, unfortunately, because the money is not in. So he can't, like me, because I'm being paid to do that, and Sebastien is not paid at all to do the game. He's paying. So he's spending money instead of earning. So he have to do other stuff to get the money. So that's why I'm trying to say to everybody, don't be patient. That's what I'm learning myself. We really need to be patient and just wait until things are done, or because for one thing, Sebastien don't have all the time in the world for the game, unfortunately, because even him will love spend his whole time on the game, but there's so many other stuff to do. And two, I don't remember what I was saying. And two, no, it's gone. Shit, it's gone. What I wanted to say is gone. Oh, come on, Alan. You look a dumbass now. Yeah, no, it's not coming back. But anyway, so yeah, if he ended up, saying to Diego that he's interested, and so we're probably gonna, work together, and that's a great thing because I like Diego's minis. So Diego doesn't do, every race. So I guess, it won't be like the main. But at least we can use these minis for the videos. We can include these minis on the rule book. I can even, instead of drawing, like in the rule book right now, we have few examples of how you move. And I made that with drawings, or how you're gonna, is it possible to fire this guy or this guy, and this guy is too far away, and this guy is So I did the drawing because we don't have any minis at that time. But I guess now I can replace those drawings by real photos with arrows and stuff, which will be more cool, I guess. And we can do the same on the website. Exactly, I can tell he's really interested in developing the game as fast and proper as he can. It is the way it should be, and feel nice to be involved in process. Yes, he's really, I mean, it's been how many years already have this game on his head? Since 1982, I think I heard the farthest date. So in his mind, he have all the time of the world. It's just us that wants things to happen, that are very impatient. And the only thing I regret, and I sent him a text before yesterday that I regret all the way, and so I say, don't bother what I said. I'm just pissed today. But the only thing I wish is that at least he can take an hour every day to read the email and answer those emails. But of course, that means reading a lot of stuff and thinking about it. So you can't really do that, because you need to think about it and make sure that he wants before. Because like he said, as soon as it's on internet, that's it. That's done. That's the way it's gonna be. So we really need to, make sure everything is what we want. But in the same way, we already changed so many stuff that was on the internet already. First date I have seen in the document was 1988. That's it. Yeah, it was in the 80s. You remember? Did you realize that this game is born with the role-playing game? The world has been creating in that date with the role-playing game, and it's being starting to develop as a war game for friends. I have like an artifact with me, which is the original map that they draw like that, and they play on it to decide where to go. That will look crap, by the way, but it's an artifact. But yeah, that's been a long time that they are, playing that game, but with different way of playing it. Now, the idea is to really developing it for a large public and make sure that everybody's gonna understand the lore and the origin of the stories and everything, and making sure that everything is working properly. So he's working on the rulebook right now, and he's making correction bit by bit. That's why I found it unfair to telling him that I wish he could spend more time on the game, when deep down I know he's spending as much time as he can. It just, yeah, I'm like I say, I'm learning to be patient, and sometimes it just because I know because we are the same. I'm already over there, and I already see people playing. I already see myself and in the convention with table behind me with all those guys I'm painting right now, with this little card game we're gonna make, and people stopping by and being very interested in what is that over there. And it's the war game. Oh, can I play a game? Yeah, we can play 30 minutes of game. People starting to get realizing the videos and everything. People realizing this game is pretty cool, and blah blah blah. I'm already over there, and that's why it's very very hard for me to waiting all that time to reach where I am already. And it's very frustrating for me sometimes that it's taking so much time. But in the same time, we are not ready anyway, because the cards are still in the drawing process, and we don't even have the what is those cards, the spelling cards. They are not even written yet, but we have to draw those cards as well. When you spell a cast on the table, bam, the table, the cards will be on the table, and you'll see what the spell is about. This is even written. So we're not ready at all. So, but as I'm already over there, yeah, sometimes it's just frustrating. It really is amazing. Dungeons and Dragons, for example, was published in 1974. Yeah, and Warhammer was around that day too. They came just a little bit before that. I think around the 80s, maybe a little bit before. No ideas, but I know they were kind of the first of doing this fantasy war game. That's why they have this success they have now. But now there's so many games that you really need to have something special. Why one of my eyes are hidden by this camera? You really need to have something special to get out of this large amount of games already. And I feel like outing will be the fact that, for one thing, we have like an old school looking game that you don't see that often anymore, and the fact that we are not selling you minis. We are giving you a playground where you can use your minis. So I guess that will be our things. We are not trying to sell you anything. We just invite you to play that game. And if you like it, you can play as much as you want and be part of the game, of the franchise. Where is main? What? Attends. Where is main 30 Baniek? Mysterious? What is that language? I'm not sure I'm following. What is that language with talking to me? Are you trying? Are you speaking dwarfs or? I'm not talking dwarf, so I can't really reply to that question. So I guess it's a question. Nope. Sorry, I don't understand that language. Oh, that's nice. Hopefully you're talking about my work. No, that's nice vibes. No love, yes, that's a nice vibe. I like that. Love, exciting and new. Coming board. We've been expecting you, oh love. We remember the first time watching your stream, we were fascinated by the drawing and still are. Thank you. That's good that you still are. That means it's still fresh. We will be the first one to buy the cards anyway. Yeah, I mean that's what I was saying to Sebastian. The card game. What is great about the card game is that even if you don't give an S about the game, and you like the artwork, you're gonna buy the card because he wants to have the drawings, and even all those all those goodies with posters and stuff. That's the stuff that gonna put the money on their pocket to help us keep working on those things. So, but even those things, Sebastian say, we wait until we're ready. Because we have a nice cup already ready. We're gonna have t-shirts, and we're gonna have those cards. And we're gonna have like trading points that you're gonna get with those cards as well. That will allow you to get rare object if you have a nice collection of those trading points. So it's a way of how do you say récompenser? To reward. That's a way to reward the guys who help us out with buying our stuff. All right, you see, as soon as you're putting the outline a bit stronger, how everything's pop out. It looks way better. I'm not sure that's gonna stay there because it's probably gonna be swallowed by the rest of the background, but it's always fun to have a little shine. Okay, so the cape is there. You know what he's missing? Something on his belt. Because I guess he has a lighter, like a silex lighter. How those things are looking like? Alors, est-ce qu'on a ça? Un briquet médiéval? Comment je pourrais appeler ça? Alors, let's see. Ting ting ting. Fer à feu. Briquet médiéval. Comment ça marche? Okay, we can have something that looks like that on the belt. Maybe. Maybe here, and we can have something here. Yeah, it's very hard to see what is it, but at least we can open up the stories about what he has on his belt. I guess it's all about the stuff he needs to light it up those explosive devices. That's fun to think that, you know, when you watch a movie, wow, that's a nice haircut. When you watch a movie, you're like discovering all those stuff. And those guys behind the movies been working on that movie for like 2, 3, 5 years ago. And all of them will be like so exciting to see people reaction in front of the movie. And I always thought that that must be very frustrating. And I'm like today drawing stuff that people will see like in 2 or 3 years time on the cards, and finding myself in position of being frustrated that people don't really react right now on those drawings. Even on the website or on the Facebook page or on Discord, like 1 or 2 likes, Yeah, because people don't know yet what's going on. We don't look serious enough now to be very taken seriously. And I think people, don't bother too much this kind of, being in the process of the game. They just want the game ready to go and ready to play, which is for them not really the case for Maîtres Guerriers. I don't want to try your game and give you ideas to make it better. I want to play the game. Okay, I wait. Look at that. Half midnight already. Shit. This evening was faster than usual. I can feel the pouring in which will take place in the future when people see the drawings and read the lore, check a story or two about the game. Yeah, I mean, that's gonna be fun because at that time, come on here. At that time, everything will be ready. The drawing will be there with like in massive amount. The all the stories, the lore, everything will be there to take and being embracing the franchise. That's where it's gonna be very enjoyable for us and the players. Right now, we just need to learn, being patient. I'm more lucky than you because, I know already what I have to do. You're still waiting, to be able to do something that really gonna help developing the game. So your position is even more frustrating than mine. Because for those who doesn't know, because yeah, maybe it need an explanation, especially for you, Saka, because you still around. Emery here is the one that's gonna write the law of the franchise. So he's kind of a writer right now. He's part of the team, like Denise, that draws stuff more and more the style of the game. Oh, I see. I knew I forgot to say something. So yeah, Emery and Denise are part of the team. Emery maybe more directly because that's gonna be his own work that's gonna be published sometimes. And Denise right now is working on her skill to arrive to the style of the look. But she's working great and she's making great progress. I really enjoy, and I already made few cards from her own design. So there is some stuff that I just be inspired to to do my stuff, but there is like at least three cards that is just her drawing, inked. Period. So yeah, she's part of my team. Emery is part of Sebastian's team, and Denise is in my team. But we are all in the same team in the end, aren't we? Yeah. I like the energy of that people that come. Even Diego, that I don't know that much yet, but I see that he's very, very, you know, he's getting very excited to have his world meeting our world. So the drawing I made the other day of of that mini, I drew that mini exactly as it is to starting to include his design in our franchise, and he was very excited about it. And you say like that's the beginning, and so you can feel that he's generally very excited to be part of the of Maîtres Guerriers franchise. So I can understand why professionally, because it can be a good thing to have a good game associated to your product. Um, but I think it goes beyond that. I feel like it goes, just the pure excitement to be part of something that can be big. This is commendable because a person must have a lot of knowledge in different area in order to create an interesting and thoughtful story. What is commendable mean? I'm not sure. I don't know that word. But that's where right now Emery is working on to have that knowledge. That's something you need to work with Sebastien, because Sebastien has everything on his head. Coursia came by and make stuff more simple, change a lot of stuff. Sebastien came back, after Coursia left. No, Coursia didn't left us, but we thanked Coursia, unfortunately, for some reason that is not interesting here. And so Sebastien came back to stuff as they were originally. Now it's all about, and I think what Sebastien say, I thought respectable. Yeah, I mean the main thing is that Emery here. That's why he's the right guy. He liked to write. He wanted to do it for fun, and he has the right energy with it. And he's writing great stories. He have like already at least three nice, 3 or 4 good stories that those stories get you there. You are in Iridium. You like it doesn't start somewhere, it doesn't finish somewhere. It's just a little story there that you there. You feel like you're in Iridium. You're on those mountains. You're like, you see the map, you picture yourself there. You fall asleep, my good friend. So go. Good night, and thank you for coming. I'm probably gonna leave pretty soon, as soon as I feel I have to do it. Right now, I'm not really tired, but it's probably gonna soon pretty quick. But yeah, that's why Emery is the right guy to do that, and that's why I think we're gonna go a good way together. And the only thing Emery need right now is all the backstory Sebastien has to really understand how these old things started, and so he can write something nice and make the players make the player understand the lore, so they can write their own stuff, because that's the point. The players have to write their own stuff if they want as well, and that could take that can be taken officially after that. It really is true, and personally speaking, it gives you a great opportunity to improve yourself. In one story, you study herbalism just to write one sentence and enhance the vocabulary to yeah. And I guess that's the main That's the main. I guess that it should be the purpose of why you want to work with us. Because if you want to work with us for money, you're not in the right place because we don't have any money. And when we'll have, it will be first to pay the drawing, sorry, and two, to pay all the cost we're gonna need for our business because it's a Maîtres Guerriers became a business, um, and all the cost we're gonna have to spend on making the cards and the hard copy of the rule book, all that stuff. We need money for it, so all the stuff, all the money we're gonna get, will be used, for the product we're gonna get. So before we're getting enough money for everybody, we're gonna need few years. The only way, the only time, I mean, where Emery is gonna get a little bit of money is when his work is gonna be published. So as soon as we are earning money from something that is done, of course, we can't do, it's the law. Emery is gonna get a little percentage of the income, of course, but that's gonna be a long way before that happen because even the rule book of the war game is gonna be free online. So before we get an hard copy that people are gonna buy, it's gonna we're gonna have some times. So if you don't do that just for the fun or to improve yourself, I don't think there is any point of coming to with us and start working. Some goes for drawings. That is why I said we are amazed and still are fascinated by Alan's drawing. Every drawing is a great story. Yeah, because I like stories and I'm trying to incorporate detail on my drawings that just make you like starting to make your own stories. That this helmet, on those pavement on the floor, what's going on, this helmet there, with all the dragons, you can already, imagine. I mean, yeah, that's what I like to do, and that's why, I adding different kind of stuff, and that's why I want to have something special in here because we see it very well. So I need to think about that, and that's probably gonna inspire Emery for another story. So the idea, the Emery idea is great, and what he wants to do is have like every month maybe, I'm what I want. What I want to do, it's a project on itself, and it's gonna take a bit of time, and I need to see with Sebastian if it's doable, because for Sebastian every stuff I do have to be paid. So I'm trying to say maybe I can draw some stuff that for myself, and it just uh, copyright free, and we can use it freely for the game. Okay, well. But what I want to do is it's a kind of white dwarf, a webzine. I'd like to do a webzine, Maîtres Guerriers webzine, where inside of that webzine, you know what a webzine is? Like a magazine, but for in internet web, on the web. And in this webzine, we can have drawings, we can have stories, we can have whatever we want. We can talk about what's been new this past months, where is the game, all this, the information of the game, that would be fun to do. I'm not sure what platform to use to do that, because your story will be great in there if we do that every month. So maybe we can just do a PDF and include that PDF. Qu'est-ce que tu fais là, toi? Il est minuit 43.
Je sais. Non, de minuit, tu me suis réveillé. Depuis, tu parles trop fort.
Ok, I'm gonna stop there. Je vais m'arrêter.
Mais parlez-moi fort.
Ok. D'accord. Même avec la porte fermée, tu m'entends?
La porte fermée, je suis dans le noir. Donc je vais essayer de la fermer un petit peu, mais oui.
Ok. Alright. So I'm gonna stop my stream right now.
Ah
Because I can't talk anymore.
Un petit extrait.
Bah, si je parle, je parle. Je parle pas plus fort que ça. Je vais pas chuchoter dans mon micro. D'accord. De toute façon, il est minuit et demi. Je comptais m'arrêter. Donc, je vais m'arrêter. C'est tout. Désolé de t'avoir réveillé. Okay. So I'm talking too loud, and Aaron can't sleep anymore. So I'm gonna stop there. So I'll see you tomorrow afternoon. Probably gonna work on this drawing. So I will finish that drawing tomorrow afternoon. And tomorrow evening I'll be finished painting the sculpt I did for my mom. So hopefully I will finish I will finish painting that sculpt, and the next morning will be for the next Mondays will be working on other project. Maybe it will be transforming those orcs with green stuff and stuff. We'll see. Alright, so in any case, I'm gonna work on this webzine because that's something I really want to do. We can even oh yeah, Emery. I wanted to. Maybe I told you already, but somebody told me about why don't you do a comic book, and this idea is just starting to grow very largely in my head. And the only reason I don't do comic book from that point is that to have a nice comic book, you need to have a nice drawing, yes, but you need to have a nice story. But the matter of fact that I know somebody that can write good stories. So I guess, one of those stories can be turned out into 2 or 3, pages of comic book. And that kind of stuff we could put on our webzine as well. So I think there is Sebastian's stuff there, but I guess we can have our stuff as well. So we'll see. We'll see. All right. All right. Thank you, my friend. Have a good night. I wish I would stay a little bit longer, but apparently I have a too big voice. So I'm gonna leave my son sleeping right now, and I will see you the next time. Have a good night, and yeah, love. Good night.
I'm glad you're doing it though. Petition the Discord to get Cryo Monster on our place. But I am lit tired. Let's see. And you got some live model drawing this morning for the first time. Stuff was stressful but helpful. How was it stressful? I'm glad it was fun or productive for you though. Words are very hard, especially today. Feeling on speaking difficulties. I'm starting to realize there's a correlation between how long ago was an event that I just had and my ability to express myself the day after. Potato in orbit, how are you doing? Words are the worst, they really are. Alan Barbeau,